fire that was never supposed to burn out.
So our record's called 2. It's our second record. We didn't spend a ton of time on that name, as you can probably tell. We did it in January and May of 2012 down at Manchester Studio in Atlanta. 2 sessions, I think around like 10 days, recorded 11 songs. For me, I think the record is like neck and neck with anything qualitatively either band has done prior. I think that we both feel that way, which is kind of why it's such a gratifying experience that it's finding an audience, and the shows are going so great on this tour. And yeah, so I really like the record a lot. Well, Forrest Whitaker was the last song we wrote for 2. We had done 10 songs in January and then went our separate ways to tour. And I had just finished a tour with a band called Say Anything, and Andy was like, I think we need one more song. We need this records you wouldn't have to ask, which was the kind of pop song from our first record. So he sent me this demo, and it was that song, and I really loved it, and he whistled the hook, and he was like, yeah, we'll replace that with these kind of granddaddy-ish keyboards. And we were both immediately went to granddaddy, like there should be a drum machine. Our aesthetic mind with that stuff is pretty weirdly blended at this point, but I was like, I think we should leave the whistling in. I think the whistling is cool, and so luckily we did, I love that song. That's an Andy song, and from what I understand, it's like a kind of character sketch about a failed relationship, and it's a back and forth dialogue between the dude and his like kind of hippie-ish ex-girlfriend, the kind of person who I would imagine is like toting crystals and naming her kid Forrest Whitaker, and I love it. I mean, that's just. It's nice to be in a band with someone else too, by the way, because you don't feel like a kind of egotistical prick to be a fan of the other dude's song. So I'm like, oh, I love that, and he wrote a great song.
Had a baby with biker named him Forrest Whitaker, and I'm laying low on the probable chance you convince me to give him a home, and I don't know.
I was in a band before I did my own stuff called Miracle of 86, and the last iteration of that band had another guy who wrote songs, and he wrote a really excellent song for our last record. And we were like foils in that way, but it's the first time being in a band with like another me. You know what I mean? The guy who like writes 90 to 100% of his band's songs. So, and I think that's been a really good exercise for both of us too, because we kind of like, you have to get good at taking constructive criticism, you know, and not, you're used to being in an environment where you're like imposing your will a lot. And I think it's nice to kind of have somebody else to push back at that too. We're both, there's a lot of noise up there. And I think we are people who are both comfortable kind of like vomiting all that out to one another. So I think our friendship and our musical relationship helps us make sense of that thing.
A leaky battery that can't keep charge. Get in the car and see what you mean.
That Your Mirror I Cannot Avoid is actually from the first record. I went in and recorded. I had that song written. I just went in. Robert recorded me playing it acoustic, and I came out and was like, I don't know if that's for us. It's just, and they were like, no, that's it. And now on the record, it's really just me performing it live, and then Chris Freeman, our keyboard player, added this really neat synth thing over the musical breaks when Andy was singing a falsetto here. And when I asked Andy at that time, well, what makes that a Bad Book song? It's just me playing an acoustic guitar, and his answer was very Andy. It's on the Bad Books record. So that kind of opened up to the Bad Books could be like whatever the songs are that, and live it's become, I kind of wish his harmonies were on the record because they're so beautiful, but that developed over the course of playing it live. I think the coolest thing about the Bad Books experience for us is that it's something that we had no expectations of. So in terms of what we hoped people took away from it, at first it was just that they would hear it, and then it was that they would, I mean, the fact that what people have taken away from it and done with it is turn it into its own independent thing. We don't play any Manchester or my songs at these shows and no one complains. That's kind of unthinkable considering it's two bands who have that deep of, they're a bigger band, but we both have a depth to our audience, and no one says boo about that, you know. And I think that would have been my wildest then the fact that that's happening in front of sold out shows, way beyond our expectations, and we think they're taking away from it exactly what you could only dream of them taking away from it. So it's great.
I caught you nesting with your analog, glassy eye from kissing poison frogs, becoming infinite against his couch.
This is Kevin Devine from Bad Books, and you're watching Baeblemusic.
And say the word,